So over here you see the actual full size of this work, and what I did was I laid this out on the floor in my lounge and painted onto the bed linen itself with acrylic to full scale, and I used the colour that I felt was building up. It's very much building up with acrylic colours, and engulfing me is the hot sweat. And the head doesn't have any hair deliberately, because it actually I want to see the actual skin and the heat within the skin. So this is the pillow, and at the moment the pillow is very flat. It doesn't actually have any wadding in it. And this is the bed linen. And if I just show you that the frame behind here is this is going to be stretched over. So at the moment this is still very much work in progress. I then was looking at the scale of how I could interpret the actual blanket, and what I didn't want was a solid blanket almost draping down to the right hand side of the body and pulling it down. I wanted something that actually had a narrative in, so I decided that the blanket would not be all the solid blanket. It was going to be squares of the blanket. So I cut all that up, and I've got two different colours of the blankets because I had two different blankets, and they're going to be roughly sewn together, but within there there's going to be a narrative of the images that I was thinking about. So this is a bit of an ideas board with some of cotton and some narratives within there, and from there I thought about the ideas of depression, anxiety and tiredness, and sketched out some ideas for my narratives to come through in textiles. Here are some of my ideas for the sampling, and also they will be going and fitting on and being stitched roughly next to the actual wool. So within there, the blanket is giving a narrative piece and a story about the emotion. So in one way, to the body shown in the piece behind me as the heat and the actual space of the body, then the actual narrative images, which are smaller, will show what the person is feeling. So I've done quite a few little pieces of this and building up. This one's in applique, and I'll just show you some of the rough stitch work that I wanted to create in this to bring chaos to there. So I used machine cotton for these to be harsher stitches compared to the more solid embroidery here on this smaller sample. So these sections of narrative to go within the squares and rectangles of the blanket are all different scales, and that's something that I wanted to really work into the blanket. So I had the freedom and the flexibility to position the blanket where I wanted to. So that's also, I'm feeling now that I'm becoming more confident in creating my narrative work to fit into a wider, larger piece, and scale it up and down as according to my wishes and to my needs for the final piece of work. Thank you.